Hello, welcome to the Riverwatch 2022 launch. Bonjour, bienvenue au lancement de surveillance des
Good morning. Welcome to the Riverwatch program for 2022.
are NBEMO Director Greg McCallum, Jill Mapia, Warning Preparedness Meteorologist at Environment and Climate Change Canada, and Don Fox, Director of Air and Water Sciences with the Department of Environment and Local Government. Parlerons aujourd'hui dans
Today, in the order they're going to appear, are Greg McCallum, Director of Emergency Measures Organization, New Brunswick, Nouveau-Brunswick, meteorologist from War Environment and Climate Change Canada, and Don Fox, Director of Air and Water Sciences at the Department of Environment and Local Government.
NB Power's Manager of Hydro is also here to answer questions. Éric Fournier, chef des...
Éric Fournier, Hydroelectrical Centers for NB Power, is here to answer your questions as well.
Reporters can ask 2 questions in the official language of their choice. Après les présentations, les journalistes...
After presentations, reporters will have 2 questions in official language of their choice.
Phones when not speaking. S'il vous plaît, on rappelle aux journalistes...
Remind the reporters to put their mics in mute.
Folks, and thanks for taking the time out this morning for this briefing. Spring's almost here, and of course, one of the things that characterizes spring in New Brunswick is the launch of the Riverwatch program. So I'm pleased to be here this morning with just a few of our many partners who make the program a success. Now, the last 2 years, it's been hard for people in New Brunswick on a whole bunch of different fronts and for a whole bunch of different reasons. But we've been very fortunate when it comes to spring flooding issues. 2020 and 2021 freshets basically passed with very little impact. And I'd be hard-pressed to tell you the last time we saw such good fortune along the St. John River. So we've been lucky, but luck, of course, doesn't last forever, and it shouldn't be part of anyone's preparedness strategy. So it's about being prepared for whatever may befall us this spring. We all know that COVID restrictions are being lifted on Monday, and everyone's looking forward to getting back to their pre-pandemic routines and normalcy. I know people are tired, and they want to take a break from it all. But we do have to bear in mind that flood preparations need to be part of our routine going forward this spring. So, as I always say, advice at this juncture, this is the time to check your 72-hour preparedness kits and see if they need to be refreshed. Maybe they've been ignored for a while. Check your evacuation plans at the household level and make sure they're up to date. And take stock of the items in your home and on your property that should be moved to higher ground or secured in the event of flooding. I'd also like to remind everyone that overland flood insurance is available. And if you're unaware of it or you don't know the details of it, contact your insurer for more information. It has to be borne in mind that any disaster financial assistance from the province is only available to help New Brunswickers for uninsurable losses. So people are encouraged to get themselves insured against the flood threat. There's a lot of good advice available to the public, as always, and about emergency preparedness on the EMO website in particular at gnb.ca/EMO. We also have, once again, restarted the Riverwatch information line, and information can be acquired there by dialing 1-888-561-4048. Daily updates will be provided to that line in both languages. So we are still at early days, and we're still potentially weeks away from overland flooding as a potential threat. But the weather over the next few days is a reminder that preparedness should always be a year-round necessity and a consideration. We're looking at, and you'll hear from Jill with more detail, a potential for rainfall this weekend, freezing rain in some parts of the province, and high winds are also in the forecast. So this is the kind of weather that leads to localized flooding potentially. Also, power outages are always a possibility. And of course, dangerous driving conditions can occur when we have weather like that. So this is a moment where I want to encourage everyone to take the time to check their property, check their plans, check their preparedness, and to make sure the drains around their homes are clear, water can't pool in your properties around your home or your businesses, and you're that much better prepared for whatever might befall us. Now we're going to carry on with a presentation in more detail about weather from Jill. And then, of course, we'll hear from our friends at Hydrology about what the spring forecast is starting to look like. So I'll hand over to Jill Mapia now from Environment and Climate Change Canada. Thank you very much. Over to you, Jill.
Thank you, Greg. Good morning, everyone. I will be presenting the weather conditions this past winter up until now, as well as our current conditions and an outlook for the spring. Bonjour, je vais vous...
Good morning. I'm going to present to you the climate conditions since the beginning of this winter and actual conditions, as well as predictions for the spring.
Here we can see a timeline of winter so far in Fredericton. At the top, you can see precipitation data for Fredericton. The blue bars indicate the precipitation daily total precipitation. The black line indicates cumulative precipitation, and as well the dashed line indicates the average. So for the Fredericton area, we see December and January were relatively dry compared to February in terms of the precipitation. And on the bottom, we can see a timeline for the temperature. And the temperature varied between the 3 months, December, January, and February, from below normal to above normal. And then as well, you can see the dotted line there is the average temperature, as well as the red and blue colors indicate the standard deviations. Ça, c'est une chronologie.
This is a chronology for the winter in Fredericton. On the top are data for precipitation in Fredericton, and the blue bars indicate the total precipitation on a daily basis. The black line indicates cumulative precipitation, and the dotted line, dashed lines indicate the average. December and January were dry compared to the average. On the bottom, you have the temperature scale that varied between the 3 months, under normal and above normal. And as well, the dotted line, dashed lines indicated that the average, and the blue indicates the differences, the deviations.
It's just the temperature anomaly in a graphic form for the whole province. And according to the scale on the left, the average temperature was above normal for most of the province, except in the northwest. The temperature was extremely cold during the month of January in the northwest, causing the anomaly like this. Voici l'anomalie.
Here's the temperature anomaly shown in the graphic for the entire province. With the scale on the left, the average temperature was below normal, except in the northwest. Temperature was extraordinarily cold in January in the northwest.
Please. And as well, we have an anomaly for precipitation for the province and its surroundings. For many regions, for some regions in Quebec and Maine, this was below normal, and you can see those colors in the brown. And for some regions in Nouveau-Brunswick, it was above normal, and those are indicated in green. Et également,
Equally, the precipitation anomaly for the province and its environments, we have a few regions under normal in Quebec and Maine, in brown, and a few regions above normal in New Brunswick in green.
Here we can see the snow depth across the province. In areas of the north, it's 60 to 100 centimeters or more, and then it's 20 to 60 centimeters for central areas, and then less than 20 centimeters for areas in the south. These numbers are a little bit less than the average for this time of year. On peut voir,
We can see the snow depth on the ground from 60 to 100 centimeters for the northern region and 20 to 60 centimeters for the central region and less than 20 centimeters in the south. These figures are a bit less than the average for the time of year.
5, please. Here is our short-term forecast, and it covers up until the 24th of March. And it's indicating a tendency to have temperatures above normal through that period. Ici, c'est la prévision.
And here are the forecasts, the short-term forecasts up till March 24th. And there's going to be a trend to have temperatures that are warmer than normal.
However, the long-term forecast is predicting a temperature a little bit in a different scenario. The blue is signaling below normal according to our 30-year climatology. Cependant, la prévision.
However, the long-term forecast for temperature foresees a different scenario. The blue indicates under normal according to our 30-year climatology.
And as well, in terms of precipitation for our outlook, there's really no indicator of above or below normal. Therefore, we can really only predict something near normal at this point. Côté précipitation.
On precipitation side, no indicators for above or below normal. So we're forecasting close to normal precipitation over this period.
That concludes my presentation for the Riverwatch. I do want to mention that we are expecting a system to move through the area for this weekend. As Greg had mentioned, we are expecting a large storm to bring heavy rains, heavy snow, and as well as wind. Mainly the snowfall should be confined to the northwest of the province, with up to 30 centimeters expected. Many areas, the other areas of the province, including the northeast, central, and southern sections, we are expecting anywhere from 20 to 40 millimeters, and winds as well could be gusting anywhere up to possibly 80 kilometers per hour or even 90. And temperatures will also be warm with this system in the southern and central areas, with temperatures possibly reaching double digits.
So we're forecasting a system for this weekend. And we can expect to have a major storm with a mixture of rain and snow and strong winds. So we're forecasting precipitation in the northwest under snow, and with the quantities up to 30 centimeters of snow. But for the rest of the province, we're forecasting a rain with quantities between 20 and 40 millimeters. Moreover, strong winds, probably gusting up till 80 kilometers or even 90 kilometers per hour. And the temperatures are going to go up till about 10 degrees, like during the south and the central part of the province during that storm. Temperatures of 10 degrees.
Merci.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Don Fox, and I'm Director of Air and Water Sciences at Department of Environment and Local Government. The Hydrology Center, which is part of Environment and Local Government, is a key partner in Riverwatch. We provide scientific and engineering support to the program. We are responsible for collecting and compiling data such as water levels and flows, precipitation, temperature, snow depth, and ice movement. We are also responsible for providing regular flood forecasts, and we provide any additional expertise as required. This year, the Hydrology Center will once again provide 5-day forecasts and identify any potential concerns that may arise during the spring flooding season. During the first few weeks, the forecast may be produced every 2 to 3 days, as required based on the weather and conditions of the St. John River Basin. After that, forecasts will be provided daily as needed. It is important to remember that predicting the severity of flooding is uncertain too far in advance. Flooding is highly dependent on day-to-day weather. The weather is difficult to accurately predict too far in advance and can change quickly. Anyone who lives along a watercourse should remain vigilant until the snow is completely gone and water levels return to normal. All areas near rivers are at risk of flooding. Caution should always be taken in areas where past flooding has occurred. Several factors can influence flooding during the spring season. Rapid increases in temperature, combined with heavy rain events, can cause increased water levels and significant flooding. As ice begins to break up, ice jams can also occur, causing rapid rise in water level and flooding. If flooding is to be avoided from these winter melt and rain events, temperature fluctuations are a good way to gradually release water from the snowpack and therefore reduce the risk of severe flooding. That means warm days and cool nights help the snowpack to melt more gradually. The depth of snow and amount of water in the snowpack, which is snow water equivalent, can also play a role in flooding. Our latest snow survey for the end of February shows the snowpack in the upper St. John River Valley above Mactaquac Dam has between 31 and 75 centimeters snow depth. There is an area in northwestern New Brunswick, a portion of northern Maine, and a portion of southern Quebec near the New Brunswick border that has between 76 and 90 centimeters snow depth. Overall, this is comparable to last year. The lower St. John River Valley, below the Mactaquac Dam, has between 31 and 45 centimeters snow depth in the central areas and 16 to 30 centimeters snow depth in the southern areas. There is a small area in southwestern New Brunswick in the vicinity of St. George and St. Stephen with 3 to 15 centimeters snow depth. Overall, this is slightly less snow in the lower areas of New Brunswick compared to this time last year. For the amount of water contained in the snowpack, which is snow water equivalent, the upper St. John River Valley above Mactaquac Dam ranges between 76 and 150 millimeters, with a small area near the Quebec-Maine border containing between 151 and 175 millimeters. The lower St. John River Valley, below Mactaquac Dam, ranges between 51 and 75 millimeters. The region surrounding St. Stephen and St. George is even less and ranges between 26 and 50 millimeters. In terms of comparing that to the long term, we use percent of normal values. The percent of normal value for the upper St. John River Valley is approximately 75%, and normal conditions over the long term would be 100%. This is comparable with last year's result for the month of February at approximately 71%. At 90% of normal, the lower St. John River Valley is less than last year, which was 101.7% of normal at the end of February. It is important to remember a main driver of flooding is day-to-day weather, which is unpredictable more than a few days out. Regardless of the state of the snowpack, there could be a significant flood, there could be no flood at all, or anywhere in between. We are always ready, and we work closely with the Riverwatch team to provide updates to them and to the public as soon as new information becomes available. The best way to stay informed is through the Riverwatch website. All forecasts are available there or through the Riverwatch mobile viewer. I would like to emphasize it is important to be prepared, particularly if you have experienced flooding in the past. Thank you, merci.
Thank you, everyone. Merci tout le monde. And now for questions. Maintenant, vos questions.
We'll now move on to question.
Go ahead. Jim, can you unmute yourself? Jim, are you there? Okay, Jim, can you raise your hand through Teams? Jim, we'll come back to you. Alan Deering, go ahead. Natalie Sturgeon, go ahead. Okay. Steve Llewellyn, go ahead. Frédéric Camarano, à votre tour.
You be patient with us. We have technical problems and we're trying to get a solution. Thank you.
Hang on, everyone. Well, excuse me. Hang on, please, while we resolve the technical issue. Hi. Could the reporters please send their questions through the chat, and we will read them in the media room. Hi, everyone online. Sorry, we're experiencing technical issues, and we are unfortunately going to have to wrap up the news conference now. We will make arrangements to have any of your questions answered. Thank you, everyone. Merci tout le monde.
Thank you, everyone.